In a draft class filled with an uber athletic 6'9" forward, a lightning quick lefty guard, and a young wing with T-Mac-like scoring ability, somehow this unathletic, unassuming guard out of Milwaukee became my favorite prospect. This supposedly 6'7" two guard put on an absolute offensive masterclass in his freshman year with Duke, one that saw them get to the Final Four, adding to a long-lasting trend of talented Duke freshmen getting deep into the NCAA tournament. As much conversation went on around Cooper Flagg's dynamic stint, Knueppel's versatile skill set was equally as important to Duke's season, and that could not have been more apparent than on March 13th, 2025. With Cooper Flagg sidelined for the ACC tournament, Knueppel was thrusted into a larger role in Duke's offense, and scouts lost their collective minds when they saw what he was able to do on this stage. One of the key and most simple concepts for any effective perimeter guard in the NBA is attacking the closeout. It's the subtle art of keeping defenders off balance, punishing them whenever they overcommit to the shot or just get lazy on the recovery. Just look at Tyrese Maxey as an example. He's made a career out of this, and it's a massive reason behind him establishing himself as a reliable offensive force for Philly since his rookie year. Knueppel may not have Maxey's quick burst, but he commands a similar type of respect from defenders as a shooter, forcing them to close out hard and giving him the lane to beat them off the bounce. I've also fell in love with his ability to finish off of 2 feet once he touches the paint, which is something that's pretty nice to have in your arsenal if you're into baiting defenders into getting off their feet and fouling. What's something that Jalen Williams, Austin Reeves, and Derek White have in common? Sure, they're amazing perimeter scoring options around guys who are a higher priority on offense, but they also possess this skill of acting as secondary playmakers. They may not bring the ball up each and every possession like a Tyrese Halliburton or a Chris Paul, but they can act like setup guys when the ball does find them. There are only a handful of things more dangerous in basketball than having an off-ball player who's as dangerous as a playmaker as a primary ball handler. We got a solid dosage of this from Knueppel in this game. Whether he found himself in high screen and roll actions, hitting bigs on the roll down the middle, or if it was just sneaking off of curls and finding those screeners on slips, he presents as a tough cover when he's called to act as a secondary playmaker on offense. I mentioned his name just a few seconds ago, but one thing that separated Chris Paul at the point guard position was his patience in the screen and roll. Who else couldn't get enough of him lulling defenders to sleep once he came off the screen, snaking through and just patiently letting the play develop before finding a teammate either on the perimeter or at the rim? I see a lot of that with Knueppel as well. He possesses a similar level of patience once he's in those screen and roll situations. He doesn't rush. He probes, he processes, and then he makes the right read. It's really rare to see this kind of pacing and decision making from a freshman, but as I said, in this game, it was on full display. Kon Knueppel may not have lit up social media and Sports Center with the highlight plays that we saw from some of his contemporaries, but if you saw what I saw throughout the season, you knew that there was something special about him. In a game that values offensive versatility from all positions, K2 is more than NBA ready and proved that from the beginning of the season. And despite being just a freshman, he plays with a level of poise that feels very seasoned. There's something different about a first-year player entering the draft after a deep NCAA tournament run. The high-stakes reps, the pressure moments, the national spotlight, that kind of big game experience builds a maturity that you can't teach. And it often translates to the NBA better than people realize. He's all over the place on mock drafts right now, but regardless of where he lands at, a team that's either rebuilding or trying to get on the path towards contention will get a ton of value out of his versatility.